Hello student, welcome to my class. Today I am going to take class 9th history chapter 1 French Revolution. So this chapter has already completed its first part. In the first part we discussed what were the conditions which led to the French Revolution in France and establishment of constitutional monarchy. We read that in the France there was so much of inequality and injustice in the society. The prices were rising in the society and there was subsistence crisis in the country. And also at this situation, the King of France, Louis XVI, wanted to increase the taxes because his treasury was empty. And in such situation, various philosophers were actually inspiring the people to revolt against the injustice. And at that time, when the tax meeting held in the France, the third state people got angry, they left the meeting, then they attacked the Bastille jail and showed the power of common people to the king. Afterwards, because of a rumor, the third state people got further angry and they attacked the noble family and lot of chaos was created in the France, and finally the king agreed to bow down and he signed a constitution and he agreed to turn the absolute monarchy into constitutional monarchy, and thus constitutional monarchy, national assembly, constitution, election, everything came in France. So what happened after that? Were the France people happy after that? Was the peace restored in the France after that? Was the king happy after that? What happened in the France after this French Revolution? That we will discuss in this part, but before that let me discuss all the symbols which were used during the French Revolution. So you can see in the picture the first figure is of a broken chain, which is actually the symbol of freedom for slave. The second picture is actually the bundle of rod, which is a symbol of strength in the unity. And the third picture is the eyes from which the rays are coming. So this is the symbol that if the knowledge is there, the ignorance can be removed. The fourth picture, you have the scepter, which was the symbol of royal power. And then downwards you have the picture in the middle, you have the picture of a ring in which the snake is biting its own tail and it is making a ring, which is the symbol of eternity. And then you have the symbol of a cap, which is again the symbol of slave becoming a free one. And then you have a lady, which is in this picture you have the blue, white and red color, which are actually the national colors of the France. And then in the third row downward you have a winged lady, and she is actually the personification of law. She was the symbol of law in that country. And in the last figure you have a tablet in which the constitution is written and which is actually showing you that in the eyes of law everybody is equal. So this all were the symbols, picture of the symbols which were used during the French Revolution and inspiring the French people at that time. Now let us see what happened in the France after the French Revolution. So after the French Revolution, the constitutional monarchy established, but after that constitutional monarchy was also completely removed and the republican government was established in France. So what happened in the France that the republican government came into the existence? Actually, the tension did not ended in the France in 1789. It continued. Especially the king was angry because his power was taken back. He has to run according to the constitution. He has to listen to the National Assembly. So much privileges and power of the king was removed. And so he was angry and wanted to take the revenge. So what he did a conspiracy with the neighboring country. And he decided to declare a war on the French people and show the French people the power of the kings. And he wanted to take back all his power back. He wanted to restore his authority once again. And even the neighboring country agreed to help the king because the neighboring country were also scared of this revolution. They were scared that if the people of their country, the neighboring country, get the inspiration from French Revolution and do the revolution in the neighboring country, then in the neighboring country also the kings will lose their power. And so they were very scared that this French Revolution can inspire the people of the neighboring country also. So the neighboring country also agreed that we will help you to fight against the French people and the French condition and the army, and to help you to restore your power. And then when they decided all this thing, this news came in the in front of the National Assembly, which was elected by the election in the France after the revolution. So when the National Assembly came to know that this Prussia, Austria and other neighboring countries are joining the hand of Louis XVI and planning to attack the France, then they decided to declare the war on Austria and Prussia. So before the Prussia and Austria declared the war on the France itself declared the war on Prussia and Austria and defeated them badly. So how they defeated them badly? Because thousands of people from the France joined the army and fought bravely against them. Because for them it was the war of prestige. For them it was the war between the king power and between the power of common people. And in this time, so much of patriotism, nationalism spread in the air. People started singing famous national song, patriotic song. Many patriotic songs were composed during this time. And one such song was Marseillaise song. Marseillaise song was actually written by Roger de Leslie, and he wrote this song and it was called Marseillaise because it was the song sung by the soldiers who were walking from Marseilles towards the Paris to join the army to fight against the Prussia and Austria. And this song became so famous that it became the national anthem of France afterwards. And so the war was fought and Prussia and Austria was defeated, and once again the common people saw the power of the common people to the world. Then many changes came in the France after that. What were the changes? First and foremost, the economy of France was shattered. Why the economy of France was shattered? Even though the France won the war, but whenever you fight a war, whether you win the war or you lose the war, you definitely get lot of losses and your economy suffered during war. And that's what happened in the France also. And during this war, all the men went to the war and the women were looking after the houses, and they got the confidence that they also can run the houses. So these changes also came in the France during this period. And another change which came during this period was that earlier what happened, only the rich people used to take interest in the politics. Only the rich people were the parts of the National Assembly. But now the poor and the middle class family members also got interest in politics. They also started forming many political clubs, and one such club was Jacobin Club, which was the club of poor and middle class people. And they have a head called Maximilian Robespierre. So now the middle class also started taking interest in politics. And also the prices of the food increases because the economy has shattered, the food shortage was created and the price of the food increases. And people said that it is all happening because of the Louis XVI. Louis XVI is responsible for this problem in the France. So why they said that Louis XVI is a problem, Louis XVI is the responsible for this situation? Because they said that if the Louis XVI would have not conspired with the neighboring country, they would have not done the war. And if the war would have not done, then the prices would have not increased, the economy would have not been shattered. So all this is happening because of the king who conspired against the France. So they got extremely angry with the king and they decided to remove the king from the palace, and they attacked the palace, they killed the guard and arrested the king and put him in the jail. So when the king was put in the jail, the France became a country without any head. So now when the country had no head, then they decided to conduct an election so that the head of the France can be elected. And this time the voting right was changed. Earlier what happened before the Maximilian election, they gave right only to the people before that election where the National Assembly was elected. At that time only the people who crossed the 25 year of age were given the right to vote, and only to rich people the right was given, who used to pay the taxes, more taxes, like the taxes of the salary of the labor of 3 days. But now in this election, all the male above the 21, whether they are rich or poor, they are paying taxes or not paying the taxes, everyone was given right to vote. All the men were given right to vote. And then the election held, National Assembly was formed, Jacobin Club win the election, and then the Jacobin Club came to the power and monarchy was ended in the 21st September 1792. And Republican government was established in the France. And this Louis XVI, what happened to Louis XVI after this election? He was killed publicly. He was also guillotined. And then the Queen Marie was also killed in France. And then the Maximilian, who was the head of Jacobin Club, he became the head of the France. And now when he became the head of the France, he started ruling the France. But he ruled for a very short period of time. He ruled only for 1 year, and that rule is called Reign of Terror. Alright, this rule is called Reign of Terror because he ruled in a very bad way, in a very harsh way, and he did many wrong things, and that's why his rule did not continue for long period of time. So what he did, he used to give very harsh punishment. Because he belonged to the third state and the first state and second state did so much injustice to the third state in the past, so he punished so many clergy and noble from the first and second state. And then he also punished the people from the third state also, because whoever used to go against him, whoever used to speak against him, he used to punish them badly, and that's why his rule is called Reign of Terror. And how he used to punish the people? He used to give the punishment, whenever the person used to get punishment in the court under his guidance, no, he used to give guillotine punishment. In the guillotine, there was a device in which the people were given the death punishment by smashing their head. Alright, so this way they used to get punishment during the Maximilian rule. And also, he took many wrong decisions, like he limited the wage and prices to a limit. Means he said that the price and the wage should not increase beyond this. And also, he rationed the meat and bread. The common item, the daily use item was also rationed by him. He said nobody can buy more than this. Everybody has to buy the fixed quantity only. Also, he fixed the rate at which the farmer should sell their product. So actually he was an extreme equality lover, and he was imposing equality very harshly. He even abolished the costly bread, which were made out of the white flour. He introduced another type of bread called equality bread, and he asked everybody should use it. He made it compulsory. And then he also abolished the title of sir and madam, and he said nobody should call a women and man as a sir and madam. Now they should be called as a French citizen only. And he even started using churches for the office purpose work. Alright, so all this decision was taken by Maximilian, which was actually not liked by anybody, but they were forced to follow this because he was very, very, very rude and very authoritarian, and he was using his power to a fullest, and he was punishing all those who were refusing to follow him. And because of this situation, his supporter who used to support Maximilian, they asked him, why are you doing all these things? But he refused to answer them. He refused to give any explanation. So finally the case was filed against the Maximilian in the court, and the court found him guilty, and he was removed from his post, and he was also guillotined. He was also killed in France. And this way the Maximilian rule came to an end in the France. The Reign of Terror came to an end in the France. And then after this, what happened in the France? After this, a directory rule came in the France. So what is the directory rule? In the directory rule, what happened when the Maximilian government failed, So actually the Jacobin Club failed because Maximilian was the leader of the Jacobin Club, and Jacobin Club was having the member from the middle class. So the people started criticizing the middle class people, that because of your rule, because of your voting right, see what type of government had come to France. So this middle class people were discouraged, and now again the power came to the upper middle class. The rich people again got the power in France. and they again wrote the constitution. They again changed the rule for the election. Now they again changed the voting rights system also. Now again the voting right was taken from everyone and it was given only to those people who were rich, who had houses and property, who are paying taxes. So those people were given right. And during this election, 2 legislative council was elected, which in turn used to elect the 5 directors for the country. So now the 5 director rule came in the France. That is called directory rule in the France. So now we did not have 1 head in the France, we had 5 head in the France. And when there was 5 head in the France, so there was continuously fight between this 5 director and the council. And whenever the fight arises between council and the director, the council used to dismiss the directors. And when the director were changed, the work of the legislature used to be stopped for some period of time. And this created lot of political instability in the France. And one military dictator, he actually used this situation, used this instability in his favor, and he established military dictatorship in the France, and that man was Napoleon Bonaparte. So now the Napoleon Bonaparte military dictator established his rule in the France. So you can see the government of France is changing continuously. It changes from absolute monarchy to constitutional monarchy, and then it changes to republican government, and now it has then it changes to Maximilian rule, republican rule. Then it came, then you had the directory rule, and then after the directory rule you have this military dictatorship of Napoleon Bonaparte. So continuously the government of France is changing, and continuously the power is changing from one hand to another hand. But one thing is common in France, that they are continuously fighting for equality and liberty, and they are getting this. And that's what is inspiring everyone in other parts of the country, that these French people are always fighting for their equality and liberty, and that gave inspiration to everyone all over the world. Now let us analyze some of the individual concept of this chapter, that is women's of that time. Now let us see what was the condition of women's of that time. Women's always play an important role in any kinds of revolution, whether it is in France or in any other parts of the world. In France also they played an important role, because the women, they wanted to change their life, because their life had so much of difficulties. The third state people, women's were they used to work for money. They used to do small jobs like washing the clothes, selling the goods, and doing some domestic help, and all these small jobs this third state women used to do. They were basically uneducated. They did not have any right to education. But the first and second state women, they used to get the education, but they used to get married soon after the education system, and their life was also miserable. The life of working women were more miserable, because they have to do lot of work. They had lot of burden of work, because they have to work outside, they have to fetch water from the well, they have to stand in the line for the bread. So they were overburdened with the work, and also they were not paid equal wages like man. They used to work like man, but they did not get wages like man. And also they had no political power. So they formed many political clubs. They became the members of the political club. They wrote their condition in the newspaper, and they highlighted their problems in the France society. And there were many clubs formed during this period, especially 60 women's clubs were actually working at that time, and main club were Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women's. These clubs were famous in France at that time. So many women actually, they were demanding political right, because this political right was not given to them. They also wanted to vote in the election. They also wanted to become a political representative, and they were waiting for this rights in constitution. And when the constitution of 1791 came and they did not got this right, they were highly disappointed. But of course the government did not give them political right, but government took some steps to improve the condition of women. Like the government opened the state schools, in which he made the education is compulsory for all the women of all the state. Then the government also gave right to get marriage according to your own choice. Now the women were free to choose their partners. and marriage was actually made a contract, and that needed to be registered in the civil law according to the new rule. And now the women can also take the divorce. So anybody who is not happy with the marriage, whether man or women, now they can take the divorce also. That was also the rule made by the government for the women's favor. And also the government arranged some training for the jobs for the women, so that they can do some small job or small business, or they can become the artist and they can earn their living. So this was the some of the steps which was taken by the government to make the condition of women little better. And afterwards, when the Maximilian rule came, the reign of terror, at that time women's condition became miserable, because he was extremely against women's revolution. He abolished all the women's club. He punished the women's politicians and political leaders, and he was extremely against the political participation of women. He even imprisoned and killed many women's leader during his period. And there was many women actually fought for the women of that time, and one famous lady was Olympe de Gauss. And this Olympe de Gauss, she fought for the women's right. She even wrote a Declaration of Right of Women and Citizen. Like in 1791, you had the Declaration of Right of Man and Citizen. Now, same way, she also wrote a Declaration of Right of Women and Citizen, in which she included all those rights which was demanded for the man in 1791 Constitution. Alright, so same rights she demanded for women also. But later on, she criticized the Jacobin Club and the rule of Maximilian. So she was arrested and she was executed, she was killed. But even though the many political leaders of women were killed, but women never stopped fighting. They continued their fight, and finally they got their political right in 1946. And this way, the women play a very important role in France history. Now let us see the another topic of France revolution, of France history actually, that is your abolition of slavery. So what happened? What is abolition of slavery? It is about the slave trade. So what is slave trade? Actually, we will discuss now. See, this France had France had many colonies in Caribbean region of America. They had their colony in Guadeloupe and San Domingo and Martinique. So many colonies they had in the Caribbean region in America. And from this region, they used to get tobacco, indigo, sugar, coffee, and so many other things for themselves. And the European, they were very fond of this, all these things. They loved all this sugar, tobacco, and coffees, which were coming from the Caribbean region. So what happened in the Caribbean region? The shortage of labor arose, and this European refused to go there. They don't wanted to go and work there because the climate of that place was quite harsh. So they refused to go there, and the shortage of labor arose in that area. That's why this triangular labor trade started between the three continents, Europe, Africa, and America in the 17th century. So this is called triangular labor trade because in this labors were traded, and it was a triangular because it was happening between the three continents, happening between Europe, Africa, and America. So what was this slave trade actually? In this trade, what happened? French merchants, they from the cities of Bordeaux and Nantes used to go to the Africa from the water route, and in the Africa they used to talk to the local chieftain, the local leaders, and then the local chieftain used to sell some slaves to this French merchant. And then the French merchant used to take this labor to the America. They used to pack this labor in a boxes like a luggage, and they used to take them to the America, and this used to take 3 months time. And in this journey also many slaves used to die because they were taken in a very miserable way. Alright, and after reaching to the America, they used to sell these slaves to the plantation owner. In America, you had many plantation owners who used to have big land, but they did not have any labor to work on them. So they used to have the shortage of labor. So these slaves they used to buy these slaves, and in return they used to give some money to the French merchant. And with that money, this French merchant used to buy the coffee, tobacco, sugars, and other items from the Caribbean region, and then they used to take this item and goes to the France and sell this item to the France people. and that is what is called slave trade. And this was actually happening, and the slaves were kept in a very bad way. They became slave for the whole life, and they led a very miserable life without any payment. And in the 18th century, this trade was started criticizing. They discussed this slave trade in the National Assembly also, and some said that it is a good one, and some said it is very bad. And the government was asked to remove this slavery from the France and to put a stop to the slave trade. But the Jacobin government did not listen to it. He did not abolish the slave trade because he said it is a very profitable trade for the businessman, and businessman of France is getting so much profit, and if we abolish that, then they will get lost. So the Jacobin government did not abolish it. But after the Jacobin government, when the Convention Assembly came, then they passed the law and stopped the slave trade in France. But it was stopped only for the 10 years. After that, when the Napoleon Bonaparte came to the power, the military dictator, he again started the slave trade in France. But finally in 1848, the France stopped this slave trade in all the country, in his own country, and also in the country where he had the colonies. So he stopped this slave trade finally in 1848, and this way the slave trade came to an end in France. So this was about the slave trade. Now let us see the another small topic, that is censorship in France. So what is censorship? Censorship is actually it is like putting restriction on publication or showing something to the people, or in some song or in some play, act or stories, or in the publication in the news and in the books or magazine. When you put some restriction, that is called your censorship. You say that this content is not good for the public, and you put some restriction, and that is called censorship. So all the good law in the France was actually passed after 1789 only, and one such law was abolition of censorship. So in this censorship, they actually abolished the restriction which was put on songs, books, magazines and other things. Actually, in the old regime, during the monarchical rule, there was lot of restriction in the books publication, in the songs and dances, and in the plays, because anything which the king and his censor board used to find that it is not good one, or it is not good for the public, or it is going against the king, they used to abolish this or ban those books and songs and everything. But after that, after the king rule, when the constitution was written, one right was given to the people, and that was right to speak and express. So now they got the right of speech and expression. So now they were free to speak anything, and now they were free to express their idea in books and magazine and newspaper and anything. So when they got this right, they wrote so many books, pamphlet, magazine, newspaper, picture, all this flooded in the France and spread all over the world. And because of this, now the people even got the right to criticize the government. Now the people can write about the development of France and spread these ideas of equality and liberty and fraternity to all over the world. And this bring awareness not only among the educated people, but also among the illiterates. Because if they cannot read, for them the people used to compose the songs, and they used to compose the act for them, and through the plays and songs they used to spread the awareness even among the illiterate. And this way, with this publication, songs and play, thus ideas of equality, liberty, fraternity spread all over the world. It's happened only because of the abolition of censorship in France. Now let us see the last topic of this chapter, and that is about Napoleon Bonaparte. He became the rule in the France in 1804. When he saw the political instability in the France, he took the advantage and established his dictatorship in 1804. And he was not happy with his empire. He wanted to expand his empire. So he started attacking the neighboring country and establishing his rule. And when he used to attack the neighboring country, he used to remove that king and used to establish his relative on the throne. And this way he established his rule in the neighboring places of France. And he has so many special laws. This Napoleon Bonaparte has some special law, like he gave the right to protect the private property, and he also introduced the uniform weight and measures. Uniform weight and measures. What is uniform weight and measures? It means if a thing or an object is weighted 5 kg in X place, then it should not weight 5 kg 100 gram in another place. So it should weight equally in all the places, and that is called uniform weight and measures. And this was introduced by Napoleon Bonaparte in France. And he also had a very strong army, and everybody was actually scared of his army. So these were some of the good points of Napoleon Bonaparte. But finally Napoleon Bonaparte rule came to the end, because all the neighboring country were not happy of Napoleon Bonaparte, were scared of him because he was extending his empire. So they conspired against Napoleon Bonaparte. They attacked him unitedly, and in the Battle of Waterloo he was defeated finally in 1815, and his rule came to an end. So this is the end of your chapter, because your France history is given up to Napoleon Bonaparte only. After Napoleon Bonaparte, what happened in the France, you will read in class 10th. So that's all you have in your chapter. Now the question arises, what do you learn from the French Revolution? So what is the legacy of French Revolution? What the world learned from the French Revolution? So world learned so many things from French Revolution. The idea of democracy came from the French Revolution only. The right we are enjoying today, the right of equality, right of liberty, all this right have their root in French Revolution only. We got this right because we got inspiration from French Revolution. French Revolution also inspired us to overthrow the monarchical government and to establish a democratic government. So many things we learn from the French Revolution. Not only we, the Indians, the many countries of Asian and African took the inspiration from French Revolution. They actually fought against the British authority and French authority, or any other countries, the colonial powers, the French, the British, the Germans, who used to rule in the various colonies. They got inspiration from French Revolution and fought against them. The colonial power were answered by the local people because they got inspired from the French Revolution. So this way, actually French Revolution is one of the most important event of our history. So with this, we end this chapter. I hope you understand this chapter, students. If you understand this chapter, do like, share and subscribe MP Social View. Thanks for watching, student, and happy learning.